Carson, you want me to do that? Now the red light comes on. It says it's recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, go ahead with what you want to say.
So John and Carson switch places. This is Carson Gilmore, John's son. And did you want me to ask you something first? Or
Yeah, just like it's been.
Okay. So, what are the pros and cons of being John Gilmore's son?
Well, the pros and cons of being John Gilmore's son. Primarily, my dad has always been a figure of I'd say, mysticism or some sort of perverseness, like I said. Because I mean, even all the way back to elementary school, my dad would occasionally come and pick me up, you know, from school, and because of his current hairdo, I mean, you know, is your dad Christopher Lloyd? and so he's always. Yeah.
John Gilmore is Christopher Lloyd in the John Gilmore story.
And so that's lasted for a while, and then in middle school, you know, people actually like heard of my dad. You know, they've heard of his work, and so hey, your dad's sick of James Dean, and so
yeah.
And so he became this huge, you know, like I said, a mystery, a scandal almost, you know. So, but yeah, I suppose that those are, you know, like cons of it, and the pros are absolutely innumerable because, you know, all my life my dad's always been there as a source of artistic inspiration and influence in countless ways. So, you know.
So what was it that you wanted to say?
Well, see, at my age, I think what a lot of people think is, see, with my writing, all right, see, I've always been admired as a writer, you know, and see, even
so modest for so young.
Oh yeah. That was a fact, you know. But no, I mean, by my peers and by my teachers, I've always been somewhat admired as a writer, and what I found about that was it's like, I mean, I know I am a bit young to be assuming these things, but it is true. I mean, like a great deal of people in my class, all my classes, they have absolutely no idea what they're doing. They hate school. You know, they hate school. They hate all their classes. They hate writing. It's a pain in the ass for them. So, and personally, even at my age, my writing has been a bit risque for certain people. Like this novel I just finished, Kind of Blue, which I first wrote as an assignment in 8th grade, and half of it was trash, and so I had to rewrite it. And almost all of it is true. It is what happened to me, because that's what John was saying about you know, if you're writing what you know, it's not so much what you know, it's what you've experienced, and if you actually put it down on paper, exactly what happened to you. And see what Kind of Blue is about is Stuart Green, this character, like a gross caricature of myself, and it's just a guy who takes his crushes too far, and so at one point I became infatuated with this girl that was younger than me, but I think she was 13. Like it was at a wedding, and it was horribly complex, but I put it all down on paper, you know, every word of it, and people said, God, you know, this is so good. I mean, because I'm actually there, because you were actually there. I was actually there, and you're experiencing it, and parts of Kind of Blue, I think, disturb people, or no, I wouldn't say disturb, but they you know, like I said, not so much disturb, but they don't like it. They stray away from it because it's written. I'm sort of kind of developing a style which I find my writing is extremely cynical. It's extremely cynical, and for some reason that turns people off. But in the same sense, it attracts people, and that's something I realize about art. You know, it's always the most repulsive things that people, even though they say, well, you know, I don't want to see that, but there is a perverse sense of attraction.
Well, sure. I think humans are fascinated by the fact that there are dark things in the world, and I mean, it's why people slow down when they go past a car wreck. They want a glimpse of that dead body.
Yeah. Because
they want to be reminded of their own mortality, whether or not they really think they do. They do. Yeah. And no matter, I mean, they go to freak shows so they can feel better about themselves. They want to see this dark side so they don't have to experience their own.
Sure. Yeah, and so this thing I just finished, Kind of Blue. You know, this character is an extremely hateable character. I mean, he's arrogant. He's extremely cynical. He doesn't give a shit about anybody. You know, except in the end, after he's hit by a car and his whole life's been ruined, and then he realizes things. But in essence, what my goal in life, you know, like you know, there's people telling me, well, that's a pussy goal, you know. But what my goal is you know, I've really, I know I have to make money, but what my goal is, you know, financially successful or not, is to actually I make a mark in the world, because I have things to say. I mean, even at my age, I have things to say, and some of them are rather dark, because of the way I write. And I think in certain senses, what I write is a way of getting out my anger. I mean, irrational or not, I do have angers at my age, because I mean, like the outsider here, in certain senses, I am an outsider, even at my age. I mean,
well, there's outsiders everywhere.
Oh yeah.
I just lead them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Just a minute. Keep talking. I just wanted to.